Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something that often goes unnoticed, the hidden habits behind prosperity, progress, and purpose. We all dream of success, of living a life filled with meaning, and yet most of us search for it in the wrong places. We think that prosperity comes from luck, progress comes from talent, and purpose comes from finding some grand revelation. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Prosperity is not a sudden windfall. It is the result of small, disciplined habits practiced consistently over time. It is waking up early to invest in yourself, even when the bed feels warm and inviting. It is saving a little from every paycheck, learning a little each day, and taking responsibility for your own financial future. Prosperity grows quietly like a tree from the roots you nurture in private. Progress works the same way. Progress is not an overnight transformation. It is the daily commitment to improvement. Reading one more page, writing one more line, practicing one more skill. These are the steps that, compounded over months and years, move you from where you are to where you want to be. Every small action matters. Every choice counts. Progress demands patience, persistence, and the courage to take the next step, even when the road seems long. And purpose is the secret fuel behind everything else. Without purpose, prosperity feels hollow and progress feels meaningless. Purpose is discovered through reflection, through understanding your values, your passions, and the contribution you want to make in this world. Purpose is what turns work into joy and challenges into opportunities. When your actions align with your purpose, life no longer feels like a series of tasks. It becomes a mission, a journey, a calling. So what are the hidden habits behind these three pillars? They are simple, yet often overlooked: the habit of self-discipline, the habit of lifelong learning, the habit of gratitude, and the habit of giving more than you take. They are the choices you make when no one is watching, the decisions that shape your character, and the consistency that eventually leads to extraordinary results. Remember, your future is not shaped by luck or circumstance. It is shaped by the habits you practice today. Prosperity, progress, and purpose are not distant dreams. They are the natural outcome of a life lived intentionally, day by day. Start small, stay consistent, and watch as the hidden habits you cultivate transform not only your life, but the lives of those around you. Prosperity is not something that appears overnight, and it is not the result of luck or sudden windfalls. True prosperity is cultivated quietly, often in ways that go unnoticed by the world. It grows from the small, consistent habits we practice day after day, long before anyone can see the results. These habits form the foundation of financial stability, personal satisfaction, and lasting abundance, and they are far more powerful than any single grand decision. The key to building prosperity lies in understanding that each choice we make, no matter how small, shapes the life we will live. Consider the act of saving money. It is not the large, rare deposits that create wealth, but the regular, disciplined contributions made consistently over time. Setting aside a modest portion of your income, week after week, month after month, may feel almost insignificant at first. Yet, the compounding effect of these small actions is extraordinary. Money saved consistently grows, not just in quantity, but in confidence, discipline, and freedom. Saving is not merely a financial practice. It is a habit that trains the mind to prioritize the future over immediate gratification. It teaches patience, foresight, and a sense of responsibility, qualities that are essential for true prosperity. Likewise, the habit of learning plays a pivotal role in prosperity. Reading a few pages each day, attending workshops, listening to ideas, or seeking mentorship may seem like tiny, almost invisible steps. However, these habits accumulate knowledge, expand perspectives, and sharpen the ability to make wise decisions. Prosperous individuals are rarely those who wait for opportunities to fall into their laps. They are those who continuously prepare themselves, acquiring the skills, insights, and judgment that allow them to recognize and seize opportunities when they arise. Learning is a habit that compounds in its own way. Knowledge gathered over time can lead to breakthroughs, better financial choices, and the creation of multiple pathways to success. Another often overlooked habit is the deliberate management of time. Prosperity requires understanding that time is a resource far more precious than money. Small, consistent decisions about how we use our hours, choosing to focus on high-value activities, avoiding distractions, and dedicating time to personal and professional growth create enormous returns over the long term. Time invested wisely compounds like money invested wisely, and the habits of prioritization, punctuality, and focus lay the groundwork for achievements that seem impossible in the short term. Those who cultivate these habits find that doors open to new opportunities, relationships, and ventures that are unavailable to those who treat time carelessly. Gratitude and generosity are also habits that quietly underpin prosperity. Taking the time each day to acknowledge what we have, to appreciate the people around us, and to contribute in meaningful ways creates a mindset that attracts abundance. Prosperity is not just about accumulation, it is about the flow of resources, energy, and goodwill. A person who consistently practices gratitude and generosity develops relationships, trust, and influence, social capital that often leads to financial and personal gains that no calculation can fully measure. These small, repeated acts of kindness and acknowledgement create a ripple effect, extending far beyond what we can immediately see. Discipline in all areas of life is central to these small, consistent habits. It is the habit of making the right choice when it is difficult, of showing up even when motivation wanes, and of sticking to commitments no matter how inconvenient they may seem. Discipline is what transforms intention into action and action into results. Without discipline, even the best strategies, ideas, and intentions remain dormant. Prosperity is the reward of discipline practiced consistently over time in every aspect of life, from finances to relationships, health, and personal growth. Ultimately, the power of small, consistent habits lies in their ability to shape character. Prosperity is not merely a state of wealth, it is a reflection of the person you become through the daily decisions you make. Each habit, no matter how tiny it seems, contributes to the architecture of a life capable of sustaining abundance. Small choices compound, not just financially, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, creating a holistic sense of prosperity that touches every area of life. Progress is not a sudden leap. It is the accumulation of small steps taken consistently over time. Many people wait for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or the ideal circumstances to advance. But the truth is that progress is rarely born of perfection. It is born of persistence. Every small action, every incremental improvement contributes to a forward movement that, over time, becomes unstoppable. Daily improvement is the quiet engine that powers achievement, and it is more potent than raw talent, luck, or even intelligence. Those who understand this principle learn to embrace the slow, steady rhythm of growth, knowing that every effort counts. Improvement begins with awareness. To make progress, you must first recognize where you are today, where you want to go, and what small actions will carry you in that direction. It may be as simple as dedicating 15 minutes a day to reading, reflecting, or practicing a skill. It may involve refining a process, organizing your time better, or seeking feedback from someone whose judgment you trust. These actions may seem almost trivial in isolation, but the power lies in repetition and consistency. Each day that you engage in improvement, you are laying bricks in the foundation of a stronger, wiser, more capable self. The principle of compounding applies to progress just as it does to wealth. Learning a little every day, improving slightly in your craft, or making small adjustments to your habits accumulates into extraordinary results over months and years. A person who consistently improves finds that doors open that were previously invisible. that challenges become manageable, and that confidence grows organically. Small improvements compound silently. They do not announce themselves with fanfare, yet their effects become unmistakable over time. Progress is rarely dramatic in the moment, but it is transformative in the long run. One of the most important habits in daily improvement is reflection. Taking time to evaluate your actions, identify successes and failures, and adjust your approach ensures that progress is deliberate rather than accidental. Reflection allows you to notice patterns, recognize areas for growth, and build on what works while correcting what does not. It is through this continuous cycle of action, reflection, and adjustment that improvement becomes sustainable. Without reflection, effort can become wasted energy, and without adjustment, learning may stall. Progress requires both action and insight, hand in hand. Another crucial element is consistency. Progress is built not in bursts of intense effort, but in steady, daily practice. The person who works diligently for an hour every day accumulates more growth over time than the one who works for 10 hours once a month. Consistency trains the mind and body to adapt, improves skill retention, and creates a rhythm of success. It is the small victories, repeated day after day, that create momentum. Momentum is what transforms effort into tangible results, and once it is established, it propels you forward even through challenges, setbacks, and fatigue. Progress also requires patience. It is easy to become discouraged when results are not immediately visible, yet those who understand the nature of daily improvement know that true growth is a long-term journey. Like a tree that grows silently beneath the surface before it bursts through the soil, progress often starts in ways that are invisible to the naked eye. Patience is the companion of persistence, and together they sustain your effort when the world seems to offer little reward. Recognizing that improvement is cumulative allows you to stay committed even when outcomes are delayed. Finally, progress is amplified by learning from others. Observing those who have walked the path before you, listening to advice, and applying lessons learned can accelerate improvement dramatically. Yet the principle remains the same. No matter the guidance you receive, real progress comes from your daily, consistent effort to apply what you learn. It is action, more than knowledge, that moves you forward. Knowledge without application remains potential, while action transforms potential into real achievement. Ultimately, progress is a reflection of your commitment to daily improvement. Every small step you take, every adjustment you make, every lesson you internalize contributes to a life that moves steadily toward excellence. It is not flashy or immediate, but it is real, measurable, and transformative. Those who embrace daily improvement discover that progress is not a destination but a journey, one that shapes character, builds resilience, and opens doors that were once unimaginable. Purpose is the invisible force that turns ordinary action into extraordinary achievement. It is the underlying reason why some people persist when others give up, why some find joy in the struggle while others see only obstacles. Without purpose, work becomes mechanical, goals feel hollow, and even success can seem empty. But when you are guided by a clear sense of purpose, every choice, every effort, and every challenge takes on meaning. Purpose is not something that is handed to you. It is something you discover, define, and nurture, and it has the power to transform the way you live, work, and grow. Understanding your purpose begins with reflection. It requires asking deep questions. What matters most to me? What do I value? What contribution do I want to make in this world? Purpose is not defined by external approval, wealth, or recognition. It is rooted in your values, your passions, and your unique abilities. When you identify what truly matters to you, you create a compass that guides your decisions, shapes your habits, and informs your actions. Purpose acts as a lens through which you view your life, helping you distinguish between what is urgent and what is truly important. Once purpose is identified, it becomes the driving force behind action. Purpose provides clarity, focus, and motivation. When you know why you are doing something, the how becomes easier. Challenges that once seemed daunting become manageable, because purpose creates a why strong enough to overcome obstacles, distractions, and setbacks. Every task, no matter how small, becomes an opportunity to advance towards something larger than yourself. The person who acts with purposes does not simply go through the motions. They engage fully, invest their energy, and persist with commitment because they see the significance of each effort. Purpose also gives resilience in the face of adversity. Life is filled with trials, failures, and unexpected detours. Without a sense of purpose, it is easy to become discouraged or abandon your goals entirely. But purpose creates a perspective that frames challenges as lessons rather than setbacks. It allows you to see obstacles as temporary, even necessary, stepping stones toward a meaningful destination. Those who act with purpose are less swayed by short-term difficulties because they are anchored in a long-term vision that gives every effort, every struggle, and every decision a deeper context. Meaningful action driven by purpose is not only beneficial to the individual, it has a ripple effect on those around you. When you live with purpose, you inspire others to find their own. Purpose amplifies leadership, enhances relationships, and attracts opportunities. People are drawn to those who act with clarity and conviction because purpose communicates confidence, authenticity, and direction. The habits and routines that arise from purpose, discipline, consistency, generosity, and focus multiply its impact, extending its influence beyond your personal life to communities, organizations, and even society at large. Purpose also shapes priorities. Life is finite and time is a limited resource. Without purpose, energy is often wasted on trivial matters, fleeting distractions, or tasks that do not align with long-term goals. Purpose helps you focus on what truly matters, ensuring that your efforts are directed toward endeavors that have significance. It brings intention to every decision and consistency to every habit. When your actions align with your purpose, you no longer drift aimlessly, you move forward deliberately, each step reinforcing the one before it, creating momentum that builds into remarkable achievement. Finally, purpose turns work into fulfillment. Many people pursue success for the sake of recognition, wealth, or status, yet find themselves empty even after reaching their goals. Purpose changes the game entirely. It transforms effort into passion, challenges into opportunities for growth, and results into a reflection of your deepest values. Every action taken with purpose becomes a source of satisfaction because it contributes to a vision larger than yourself. Fulfillment is not a byproduct of success. It is the natural outcome of meaningful action guided by a clearly defined purpose. In every area of life, from personal development to career, relationships, and community involvement, purpose is the invisible engine that drives progress and prosperity. It gives clarity in decision-making, courage in adversity, and motivation in times of fatigue. Purpose is the spark that ignites daily effort and the glue that holds long-term commitment together. Without it, even the most disciplined habits, the most consistent routines, and the most ambitious goals can feel hollow. With it, every step forward becomes an act of significance. Every effort contributes to growth, and every challenge becomes an opportunity to live a life that matters. When it comes to success, prosperity, and personal growth, the habits that truly shape our lives are often hidden from view. They are the small, seemingly insignificant actions performed when no one is watching, the quiet choices made consistently over time, and the routines that occur outside the spotlight. Many people focus on visible accomplishments, titles, promotions, awards, or recognition. But the truth is that the foundation of lasting success is built upon hidden habits. These habits, though unnoticed by the world, shape character, determine outcomes, and create the momentum that drives achievement. Hidden habits matter most because they reveal who we truly are when external pressures or expectations are removed. Anyone can perform well when observed, but it is what we do privately, how we manage our time, respond to challenges, and practice discipline, that shapes the trajectory of our lives. These daily actions compound quietly, just like compound interest in finance. The small choices we make, repeated consistently, accumulate into results that are extraordinary over the long term. For example, reading a few pages every night, reflecting on your goals each morning, or keeping a budget are simple habits, yet they build a foundation for financial, intellectual, and personal prosperity that cannot be achieved by talent or luck alone. Discipline is one of the most important hidden habits. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It is the refusal to succumb to instant gratification in favor of long-term benefit. This may include getting up early to work on personal development, dedicating time to learn new skills, or exercising even when it is uncomfortable. Discipline is invisible to others, yet it is the engine behind visible success. People often admire the results, the strength, the wealth, the knowledge, without realizing the countless hours of disciplined effort that produced them. Hidden habits of discipline quietly transform ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. Consistency is another hidden habit that cannot be underestimated. Talent, intelligence, or opportunity can only carry someone so far, but consistent effort produces momentum that no external factor can match. Progress and growth are not built on sporadic bursts of energy, but on regular, persistent actions taken over months and years. Someone who writes every day, practices their craft diligently, or consistently invests in their health, even when no one notices, will experience compounding results. These hidden habits form a rhythm of success, a steady accumulation of effort that eventually surpasses occasional brilliance or short-lived enthusiasm. Accountability is also a hidden habit that makes a significant difference. Taking responsibility for your actions, acknowledging mistakes, and committing to improvement is a private practice that strengthens character. While others may not see your accountability, it builds self-respect and integrity, which are essential for long-term success. People who cultivate the habit of accountability do not wait for external pressure. They hold themselves to higher standards, and in doing so, they naturally earn the trust and respect of others. Hidden habits like these quietly build credibility, leadership, and influence. Gratitude and generosity are hidden habits that often go unnoticed, but have profound effects on both personal and professional life. Expressing appreciation, helping others without expectation, and recognizing the positive aspects of every situation cultivate a mindset that attracts opportunities and strengthens relationships. These are not the habits that bring immediate recognition, but they create an invisible network of goodwill, trust, and collaboration that pays dividends in ways that cannot be calculated. Hidden acts of kindness and appreciation form the foundation of lasting prosperity and meaningful connections. Finally, reflection is a hidden habit that allows growth to be intentional rather than accidental. Taking time to review decisions, evaluate progress, and adjust actions is often done in solitude, away from the eyes of the world. Yet reflection ensures that effort is purposeful, learning is maximized, and habits are refined over time. Without reflection, even disciplined and consistent actions can become misdirected. Hidden habits of reflection transform ordinary routines into strategic steps toward long-term success. Hidden habits matter most because they determine the quality of your character, the strength of your discipline, and the sustainability of your progress. They operate silently, yet their impact is profound. What we do consistently in private eventually manifests in the visible areas of our lives. The wealth we accumulate, the relationships we nurture, and the personal growth we achieve are all reflections of these small, repeated actions. To succeed in life, one must honor the power of hidden habits, practice them faithfully, and recognize that they are the true architects of destiny. Consistency is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, forces in shaping success. Many people search for shortcuts, sudden breakthroughs, or overnight miracles, but the reality is that meaningful achievement rarely comes in a single leap. Instead, it emerges from small, repeated actions performed over time. Consistency is the principle that allows effort to compound, transforming modest beginnings into remarkable outcomes. Whether in personal development, career, health, or relationships, it is the steady, disciplined repetition of the right actions that creates results far greater than sporadic bursts of effort could ever achieve. To understand the power of consistency, consider the process of learning a skill. Practicing for 10 minutes every day may feel insignificant at first. The progress is slow, almost invisible, yet over months and years, those minutes accumulate into mastery. Each small repetition strengthens the mind, owns the skill, and builds confidence. This principle is true across every area of life. Consistency does not guarantee instant success, but it guarantees progress. It is the bridge between goals and achievement, the engine that turns effort into results. Consistency compounds results because it creates momentum. Momentum is what allows us to move forward even when motivation wavers. A person who practices, invests, or works diligently every day builds a rhythm, a natural forward motion that carries them through challenges. On days when enthusiasm is low, the habit of consistency keeps progress alive. Momentum accumulates quietly, often unnoticed, until it reaches a point where effort feels easier, tasks seem more manageable, and results become inevitable. Without consistency, talent, intelligence, and ideas are wasted potential. With consistency, even small actions magnify over time. The principle of compounding, familiar in finance, applies equally to personal growth and achievement. A small, positive action repeated regularly grows exponentially, much like interest accumulating on savings. Reading a few pages every day, saving a little each month, or practicing a skill consistently does not produce dramatic results immediately. Yet, over time, these actions grow into substantial outcomes. The compounding effect of consistency is invisible at first but unstoppable once it takes hold. It rewards patience, discipline, and long-term thinking, and it punishes inconsistency, procrastination, and scattered effort. Consistency also strengthens character. It requires discipline, focus, and perseverance. It is easy to take action when circumstances are ideal, but consistency demands that you act even when conditions are unfavorable, when distractions arise, or when fatigue sets in. Every time you choose to continue despite obstacles, you reinforce resilience, self-control, and reliability. These qualities compound along with the tangible results of your effort, creating a foundation of inner strength that supports long-term achievement. Consistency teaches the mind that success is earned through repeated effort, not luck or sporadic bursts of inspiration. Another important aspect of consistency is its ability to create habits. Habits are automated behaviors that no longer require conscious effort. When actions are repeated consistently, they become ingrained in your routine, reducing the reliance on willpower and making progress effortless. For example, exercising at the same time every day, dedicating daily time to study, or practicing a craft regularly becomes part of who you are. Once these habits are established, results compound naturally, and the process of growth becomes self-sustaining. The hidden power of consistency lies in its ability to turn conscious effort into automatic success mechanisms. Consistency also builds trust and credibility. In relationships, business, and leadership, people notice reliability. Those who show up consistently, deliver on promises, and maintain steady performance earn respect and influence. Compounded over time, this reliability opens doors to opportunities, partnerships, and collaborations that sporadic effort cannot achieve. Consistency not only compounds results in personal growth, but also in social and professional capital, multiplying the benefits of daily effort across every area of life. Finally, consistency compounds results because it aligns with the natural rhythm of growth. Life does not reward extremes, it rewards persistence. Every great accomplishment, from financial success to personal mastery, is the result of daily effort compounded over weeks, months, and years. The small actions you take consistently create a trajectory that cannot be matched by sudden, uncoordinated effort. The beauty of consistency is that it is available to anyone willing to commit. It does not require extraordinary talent, connections, or luck, only the decision to show up every day and do the work that others may neglect. Responsibility is the cornerstone of personal growth, success, and fulfillment. It is the principle that separates those who live reactive lives from those who create their own destiny. Many people look for someone or something to blame when life does not go as planned, circumstances, luck, or other people. But the truth is that taking full responsibility for your actions, decisions, and outcomes is the key to genuine progress. Responsibility is not a burden. It is the power to shape your life. When you embrace it, you move from being a passive observer to an active architect of your future. Taking responsibility begins with acknowledging that your choices determine your reality. Every action you take, every decision you make, has consequences. If you neglect your health, financial situation, or relationships, the results are a reflection of your own decisions. Conversely, if you cultivate positive habits, seek knowledge, and invest in growth, those outcomes also reflect your choices. Responsibility empowers you because it removes the illusion of helplessness. You may not control every event in life, but you do control how you respond. Your reactions, decisions, and actions are entirely within your sphere of influence, and taking ownership of them is the first step toward lasting success. Responsibility also strengthens character. It requires honesty, courage, and self-discipline. Owning up to mistakes, learning from failures, and making corrections builds integrity. People who take responsibility consistently earn trust and respect because they demonstrate reliability and accountability. Even when situations are difficult or outcomes are not favorable, a responsible person seeks solutions instead of excuses. This mindset fosters resilience, problem solving, and a proactive approach to life. By contrast, those who avoid responsibility remain stuck, blaming external forces and perpetually waiting for someone else to act. Another essential aspect of responsibility is its role in personal empowerment. When you accept responsibility for your life, you recognize that you have the power to influence your circumstances. Success is not something that happens to you. It is something you create through deliberate effort. Taking responsibility transforms challenges into opportunities because it encourages action rather than resignation. When difficulties arise, responsible individuals ask themselves, "What can I do to improve this situation?" Instead of lamenting, "Why did this happen to me?" This shift in perspective makes all the difference between stagnation and progress. Responsibility also shapes relationships and leadership. In both personal and professional contexts, people gravitate toward those who demonstrate accountability. Leaders who take responsibility inspire confidence, loyalty, and collaboration. They are willing to accept credit for success and blame for failures, creating a culture of trust and accountability around them. Similarly, in personal relationships, responsibility fosters communication, reliability, and mutual respect. Those who consistently honor commitments, acknowledge mistakes, and contribute positively to others' lives build deeper, more meaningful connections. Hidden within the act of taking responsibility is the ability to create influence and legacy. Discipline and focus are reinforced through responsibility. When you commit to being accountable for your actions, you naturally prioritize what matters most. Responsibility demands that you manage your time, energy, and resources wisely. It motivates you to set goals, track progress, and adjust your approach when necessary. Without responsibility, even the most ambitious plans remain dreams. With it, every decision, no matter how small, becomes a building block for achievement. The habits and routines that arise from responsible behavior compound over time, generating results far beyond what occasional effort can produce. Responsibility also encourages lifelong learning. A responsible person seeks growth, understanding, and improvement. Instead of blaming failures on external factors, they ask, "What can I learn from this?" and use setbacks as stepping stones toward mastery. This mindset ensures that mistakes do not become permanent roadblocks, but rather opportunities for reflection, adaptation, and progress. By embracing responsibility, you take control of your personal evolution, continuously refining skills, knowledge, and character. Ultimately, responsibility is the key because it transforms passivity into action, excuses into solutions, and dreams into reality. It is the foundation upon which prosperity, progress, and purpose are built. By taking ownership of your choices, actions, and outcomes, you gain the power to shape your life in meaningful ways. Responsibility is not a limitation, it is the greatest form of freedom, for it gives you control over your future, cultivates resilience, and amplifies the impact of every effort you make. Those who understand this principle discover that success, fulfillment, and growth are not determined by circumstances. They are determined by the decisions they make and the responsibility they embrace every single day. Intentional living is the practice of making deliberate choices that align with your values, goals, and purpose. It is the conscious decision to take control of your life rather than allowing circumstances, habits, or other people to dictate your path. Many people drift through life reacting to events as they occur, responding to the demands of the moment without pause or reflection. While this may feel comfortable, it rarely leads to lasting fulfillment or success. Intentional living transforms life because it shifts the focus from passivity to purpose, from randomness to direction, and from short-term convenience to long-term achievement. The first step toward intentional living is clarity. You must know what matters most to you, your values, your passions, and your vision for the future. Without clarity, decisions are made haphazardly, time is wasted on trivial matters, and energy is dispersed across activities that do not contribute meaningfully to growth. When you are intentional, each action is chosen with awareness of how it serves your larger goals. Clarity provides direction, reducing confusion and indecision, and giving focus to your efforts. Intentional living begins with the conscious choice to define your life rather than letting life define you. Once clarity is established, intentional living requires prioritization. Life offers endless distractions, demands, and opportunities, yet time is limited. Those who live intentionally make deliberate choices about where to invest their energy, ensuring that their actions align with their priorities. This may involve saying no to short-term pleasures, superficial engagements, or unproductive habits in order to preserve time for growth, learning, and meaningful contributions. Prioritization allows you to concentrate on high-impact activities, magnifying the results of your effort and creating momentum toward your long-term vision. Intentional living also demands self-discipline. To live intentionally is to act consistently according to your defined purpose and priorities, even when motivation falters or challenges arise. It is easy to be disciplined when conditions are perfect, but intentional living is forged through perseverance in adversity. Discipline ensures that decisions are not impulsive, habits are maintained, and effort remains aligned with long-term objectives. Through intentional discipline, small, daily actions accumulate into meaningful results that transform your life over time. Reflection is another cornerstone of intentional living. Regularly assessing your actions, decisions, and outcomes ensures that your efforts remain aligned with your goals. Without reflection, Even well-intentioned efforts can become misdirected. Reflection allows you to identify what works, adjust strategies, and course correct before minor issues become major setbacks. It also reinforces accountability, deepening the connection between your intentions and your daily behavior. Through reflection, intentional living becomes not just a set of actions, but a dynamic process of growth, refinement, and continuous improvement. Intentional living transforms relationships as well. When you act with purpose and clarity, you are more present, authentic, and considerate in your interactions. Relationships flourish when you prioritize meaningful connections, offer support thoughtfully, and engage with others deliberately rather than superficially. Intentional actions within relationships build trust, respect, and mutual growth, amplifying the positive impact you have on the people around you. The ripple effects of intentional living extend beyond personal achievement to influence families, communities, and professional networks. Another profound effect of intentional living is the sense of fulfillment it creates. Life lived without intention can feel hollow, even when external accomplishments are present. Conversely, when actions are aligned with purpose and values, every effort contributes to a meaningful narrative. Challenges are no longer obstacles to avoid, but opportunities to reinforce your commitment to your path. Success is not measured solely by external outcomes, but by the satisfaction of living deliberately, making decisions that reflect who you truly are, and shaping a life that resonates with your deepest convictions. Intentional living is also a catalyst for resilience and adaptability. Life is unpredictable, filled with unexpected twists and trials. Those who live intentionally are not rigid. They are flexible in methods but steadfast in purpose. They adjust strategies as needed, make informed choices, and maintain focus on what matters most. This balance of discipline and adaptability allows them to navigate challenges effectively, ensuring that setbacks do not derail progress and that opportunities are seized with clarity and confidence. Ultimately, intentional living transforms life because it empowers you to be the author of your own story. It replaces randomness with direction, passivity with action, and distraction with focus. Every decision, habit, and action becomes meaningful, building momentum toward long-term fulfillment, growth, and achievement. By living intentionally, you create a life that is not shaped by circumstance, habit, or external influence, but by conscious choice, purpose, and deliberate action. Through this approach, ordinary days compound into extraordinary lives, and small, intentional steps become the foundation of lasting success and satisfaction.